went up to worship and someone whispered in my ear, "Welcome home." And that just really hit home for me, and I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. And yeah, that was the second night. Then here comes the third night. I go down again, and the Lord gives me a vision. I was in a dark room with the door locked, and scripture came to me, Matthew 7:7. Knock, and the door will be open, or knock, or what is it? Rap. Yeah. Yeah. Pastor Jason. And the next morning in morning chapel, he preached on it. They hit that, and it just was like a reassurance to my faith. And yeah. And then the last night I was there, I felt I was called into ministry.
That one, this is right after we come in the Monday night to be precise. God just worked in my heart. He just like, as I was worshiping, he just caught my heart and just kind of told me that I've been bound up by this fear and anxiety just so long about just random things. For so long, I had just gotten so used to it that I haven't even really noticed it. And then he just set me free from that the first night. That's just like the tip of the iceberg, because he's that amazing. And just throughout the week, he just did a bunch of stuff. The second night, he just confirmed me to go into ministry, and that, like, he helped me realize that there's people out there who just go through things like me that need help. And he kind of also helped me deal with all these anxious thoughts. Like, all these insecurities he dealt with, even the first and the second night, that, I'll be honest, are trying to get back onto me, but I did not accept that. But even when I was being prayed for, I was just asking God, change whatever you want, do whatever you want. And then Brooks, he just prayed and just said to me, he said something along the lines of, he wants you as you are. Don't let all those things tell you that you're not enough. Don't let all those things tell you you gotta be different. And then the third night, he just wrecked me so hard. I don't even know exactly what he did. He just changed my heart, and I just want to praise him all the time. I fell on the floor twice for no reason. I don't know why. I went up 10 minutes, prayed for some people, and then splat down. Some random guy just put his hand on my head. And even like seconds before, God told me he wanted to do something more. And then this guy just comes in and shout like that, and I just fall down and everything. And he's awesome. Don't let anything. Don't let those lies tell you you're not enough. Don't let those lies hurt you from doing what he's told you to do. That's it.
I went to camp, not really expecting much, because I'm getting closer to graduation, and I've had the Holy Spirit, and I still had it, but I'm going to be getting refreshed. That's a different story. But I was in my junior year. I'm going to my senior year. And I had a lot of academic anxiety, just where I was going, what college I was going to, how I was going to get there, and it caused me to be bitter a lot, angry, and my mom would call me out on it all the time, and I would just be it's just I'm a teenager, I get to be angry, but it was really just that anxiety coming out in that bitter form. But the fourth night, Jocelyn and Kinsey prayed for me both, and Miss Tammy. It really hit good because I was like the first 3 nights I kind of felt it, like I was like, okay, this is what I'm here for. I need to get this. I need to be free from this anxiety. But the 4th night, man, it was crazy. Like Jocelyn prayed for me, and we were like on the ground, and she was crying, and I was crying, and it was really good experience. And so, yeah, if you haven't gone to camp or think it's lame, don't think it's lame because it's not. Let's go. Let's go for a push round.
Okay, so first off, I have felt so much joy and so much like love from the Lord. Like recently, and I've just been able to get in my word. I've been able to do more and just felt so much closer to Him. And then I've been able to just like, I've been able, like when I was at camp, I prayed for so many people and was able to give so many more people words. And it was just amazing because I was like, I know I have a purpose, and I didn't think it was like that strong. And He just really showed me that it's more to that too, that I'm gonna be able to show people from school and everything. But I really like cared about what other people thought, and I gave it to the Lord. And now I'm able to able to do it like I don't have that fear anymore. Basically. Like, I don't have fear because I know that God's the only opinion that matters. Yeah. And it's just like been amazing. And I've been able to talk to people in volleyball about God, and I just know that so much more is about to come in my life, and I'm so excited. And even my dad was at church like the Sunday before this, and he has been opening his eyes and seeing some of the people around him that are like not like helping him with his relationship with God. And I've been praying for God's will in my dad's life for years, and it's coming along. I know it is, and he's talking about God more.
Testimony started like even before camp. It was the Wednesday before. We were all up here praying, and out of nowhere, Matt just comes up and starts praying over me. He starts praying like there's like this one person that he saw that like I just needed to let go. And I absolutely love this person. Like me and him, we went through everything together through high school, and like I thought like nothing could separate us. And I didn't realize that at the time, but he was like pulling me so far away from God. Like I would go out and do like all this stuff with him. Like me and him, like we would get in so much trouble, and I didn't realize it because I was just having fun. But he was like my one thing that was pulling me away from God. And Matt just came in and just started like praying over me, and instantly I knew who it was. Like I felt this conviction from the Lord. I instantly knew it was this kid. And then so I was just taking it to camp secretly. I said like that night, I said I broke it off with it, but that night, or I took it into camp. I was like, it's fine, it's whatever, I'll just go. And then night one of the interns came and prayed over me and pretty much prayed the same exact thing that Matt was saying. I was like, okay, I have to do this after camp. So after that, I just kept on praying the Lord. It was night 2, and I just started to get filled up by Him. And pretty much like all the nights was just like so framed, like this peace. Like I just love being in that peace. Like there's times where we were going crazy, and I would just stop and I would just be still, and it was just this presence would just fall over me, and it was like a feeling like never before. And I just wanted to stay there forever. And then the final night, I remember last year at camp, we had the final night as well, where like it was like me, Eli, and Davis, we were going crazy praying over people. But it happened again, this last night happened again. Me, Eli, and Davis, we just got filled up by the Holy Spirit so much. We started praying people, and they started falling to the ground. We were going person after person after person. People after people being filled up with Spirit falling on the ground. We had one of the leaders from other churches. We found him, like we became friends with him like a couple nights before. We found him, and we were all praying for him. He just like drops, like it was crazy. Like he was just like sobbing on the floor, and we were just going after people, and it was great. And I just thank the Lord for what He's done for me this weekend and what He's done for you. And another thing is, I've always heard people say like once you give your life fully to God, like you are a changed person. And I've never truly felt that. Like I would always come back from camps or other things, and I continue to do like my own things. But like this time, I came back, and like the listen I was listening to before is no longer my life.
Amen.
The things I was watching was no longer there. The things I was seeing was no longer there. I'm truly a changed person, and I'm thankful for that. And that's the main thing I took away from this camp.
So I've been having like I had like weights over my shoulder when I went to the camp, and like the first night I was just kind of there. I was like, oh, this is just like any other camp, and this is gonna be the same thing like last year's. And this year, on the fourth night, everything changed, and I actually felt like the Lord touched me like never before, and I felt like a bunch of weights has been lifted off my shoulders, and that the Lord is like actually gonna be here for me, and that He will be there with me in the hard times, and that I don't know, and like I've been just praying like over things that's been happening in my like household, and that He's like starting to change some things, and that like hopefully He pulls through and actually changes everything in my life.
So I went to camp. There was something in me that I could not like worship freely, or just I wasn't letting go of myself. And for some reason, something in me was trying to be like tough and not let go. And so I went to camp and I had a knee brace on, and I had it on for 9 months, and I was going to come back and get surgery. And the second night, I was standing at the front of the altar, and an intern came up to me, and she put her hands on me, and I instantly just started crying. And she prayed for me for like a solid 20 minutes, and I had no pain in my knee after she prayed. So she walked away, and then later she came back, and she told me to take off my knee brace and throw it onto the stage, so that like to show that I wasn't bound by the knee brace anymore. And so I did that, and that was like the best feeling that I've ever had. And so I was crying so much, and I turned around, and Amelia was there, and she gave me a hug, and that was the best hug that I've ever gotten. It was so good.
This anxious feeling, like I wasn't gonna be able to worship or anything. And the first night, like I just had it in my head, like I wasn't gonna worship or anything. And like I had to like pressure myself to raise my hands. And then the second night, like I forced myself to go to the front of the altar, and I was raising my hands the whole time. And then an intern came and prayed over me, and I just had like a huge breakthrough. And the rest of the time, like I just felt free, and I was able to like jump and like give Him praise, and it just felt so good. So yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna hide in the corner and wait till it's all over. But by the end of the third day, or maybe the second, I don't know, it was close. God worked inside my heart and changed everything for good. I'm now never gonna let that go.
Let everybody do it.
I went to camp, and I was bound by a few things I wanted to get free of, and y'all, I had this all planned out in my head, but I forgot it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So I was bound by like things like anger, stress, anxiety, addiction, but during camp, I just had this feeling that it was gone. On the third or fourth day, I can't remember, but it was one of them. But I was freed from all that stuff, and I haven't really struggled with any of that ever since. I had some blood work done the other day to test for an autoimmune disease, but I have full faith, the word it starts with C, confidence that it's completely healed.
So my testimony, similar to Micah's, doesn't really start at camp, but a couple of weeks before camp, I made a decision to put God over other people and myself. And I didn't know it at the time, but that would later lead me to just pure joy. So fast forward a couple of weeks, and I go to this other camp, Young Life camp, and during that time, I had one of the best weeks of my life. And I encountered God there, coming out of that camp. I had just an absolute fire to just come back home and read the Bible, which like never happens. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then even the week after that, like I continued to like hang out with some friends from that camp and go to Bible studies and just again have like another amazing week. So after that one comes this church, like our church camp. And so coming into this one, like usually in past years, like I had been like bound by addictions, bound through like depression, just like horrible times because of things that happened in my life. But this year, like in the camp before, I had already been like really close to God. So coming into our camp, like I didn't have high expectations for like what the Lord was going to do in my life. But like despite that, I know I was still there to praise, just give thanks. So like that's what I did. Every day, like I saw my brothers and sisters around me like go for amazing things, crying, and like that's what I prayed for every day. Like despite myself not going like through something amazing, like I just decided that I would give thanks to God for everything that He's done for me and my family, like leading up to that point. And so day after day, I just give Him like all my praise, all my worship. And there comes a time where I'm just like, I'm not feeling anything. I'm not like feeling that fire and that like hurt. Because it was like, I know I hadn't done anything to lose that, but like it just wasn't the same. And I felt like to me that wasn't me truly giving God my thanks. And I wanted to give Him my thanks so much because like He had truly given me like the best month of my life. And like as I was thinking that, like thinking about how like I don't deserve anything that He's given me, that I'm not doing enough for Him like to deserve this. He comes up to me and tells me that God put it in His heart to like tell me you're welcome. And like at that moment, I just like realized that God doesn't care like how much that I'm doing for Him. Like I'm His son, and He wants the best for me. So it's like I don't need to like do all this amazing stuff for God for Him to bless me. And after that, it's like God told me you're welcome. So that implies to me that I just have to give Him even more thanks. And that's just what I did. The new camp was more about God showing me to stay disciplined in Him despite perhaps not feeling anything, and just to show me that like I'm there for Him and I don't need anything else to prove that.
I walked into camp with like a lot of pressure and like anxiety and like worry and all that. But like almost as soon as I got there, just like went away, and then just like being surrounded by like people like y'all, just made me like want to like push more towards it, and then just get that desire and like that hunger. So then like after camp ended, I just like got home and just like started like processing like everything that went down, because I got a lot of like words and like revelations and stuff like that, so it was just like a lot to like break down like during camp. So then I just started getting the word and just started like dwelling in His presence more, because I couldn't really do that. I just do things and I wouldn't like really feel anything to like the point I'd start doubting Him. But like in camp, He just like revealed Himself and just like let me know that He's here. Like, yeah.
I like seriously did not want to go to camp like at all. I was like begging my mom not to, but like when I first got to the camp, and this first and second day, I was like, it was like I wasn't like praying. I didn't really feel it yet. So I think it's the third day. Jocelyn, she like decided to pray for me, and like when she prayed for me, I just felt this like weight like lifted off of my shoulders, because she's like an angel, like she's an angel from God, because the way she prayed for me, it was like I have never had anyone else like I've never felt that way with anyone else that has ever prayed for me. Like it was different with her. Like it felt like she told me what to do, like what I was going through, and like saying that I'm not those things people have said about me, and I was never those things people have said about me. I know that I'm a person and I'm strong, and I know that, and yeah.
Okay, basically, when
to camp. I'm gonna just be honest. I did not want to go to camp either. I told Miss Tammy I was excited, whatnot. I did not want to go. I didn't really know anybody in the youth. Y'all all became my brothers and sisters. Y'all are all my best friends. Y'all all family to me now. So here recently, I've been going through a lot with family and just all kind of things, and anxiety, depression, worry, stress, everything. And maybe by like the second or third night, like with all I'm going through, I thought I was in control of it. God told me, I'm not in control of it, and to just lay it all to Him and let Him lead me to where I need to be and to where I gotta go. And, so God showed me, like, He really showed Himself. He really revealed Himself. Because for so long, just like last month, I questioned God, like more than I ever have. I didn't even know if I believed in God, to be honest. And I went to camp, and that was the best thing. It was just the best experience. And God just gave me so much. He broke so many chains, and God is good.
I was going through the same stuff. I would get set free. I would go to different conferences and camps and just different meetings. I'd get set free, and I would go to pursue after God, and then I'd get stuck in the same spot with the same stuff, and I would just get drugged away from God, and it kept happening to me over and over again. And so when I went to camp, I went in with this hunger that I never really had before. And the first night, I was just going after it with everything I had, and I hit the same wall again. And I was like so disappointed in myself. And I went to bed that night, and God, he just told me, he said, just push harder, just push harder. And so the second night, I really went after it again, and I just broke through everything that I had ever struggled with. I just felt this peace that I never felt before.
Amen.
And I had went in with like insecurities and addictions and things, and like they just not there anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man, it's just different. And the third night, he truly made me broken for him. One of the things that he wanted, so he changed me.
By saying I didn't want to go to camp at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the longest week of my life. I don't really got much to say, but like by the end of this whole camp experience, I just feel like he set me free, and my relationship with him got closer by a lot. That's really all I got.
I was really touched by God. Like this week, I never felt His presence so strong before, and He really just touched me so deep, and He set me free from all my addictions, from anxiety and depression, and just want to thank God tonight.
With great hopes, but I was dealing with some things like depression and anxiety that I would go out and pretend that my life was fine, and every time I would go back to my room, I would collapse, and I wanted things to be different. I went and I was like, there's got to be a purpose in my life. So I was praying with another buddy I met at camp, and he got down and started crying. And, I heard something say my name, and there was nobody around, and I heard God say He wanted me to be a preacher. And then I look up, and Eli, Davis, and Micah came, smiled at me, and were like, "Come on, buddy, we're gonna pray for you." We went up, and they were praying over me, and then Eli said something that really touched me. He prophesied and said I was going to be a preacher, and I was like, that was my confirmation. And there was something missing in me that, you know, I knew I enjoyed being with friends and Jesus always. And, there was something I knew that I couldn't get from friends or playing video games or anything like that. And I asked him to be there and, you know, like, be the missing piece. And during my second night, I just felt like burden just lifted off me. And, you know, I was like, I need to take control of my life. And man, it felt so good. I felt light, confident, and you know, I was like, everybody needs Jesus, and I don't know how, you know, I could have done it without him. Yeah. And I certainly wouldn't be here, you know.
Before I came to camp, I had an emerging service, which is a place where you get like all like your deepest, darkest things, right? Like all the bad things you get it out, and you like get prayed over, all those hidden demons you have. And I had a hidden demon, which is a mockery spirit, and it got out, and it felt like a giant weight out of my stomach. I go to camp, and this is hot. I go to camp, and like I feel just this like starvation for Jesus. Like I feel like I'm starving for him. And like it's all I had, and it's so hard to say. It's hard to explain because it's just so good. And like before I went to camp, because if y'all don't know, my father has like issues and that stuff since he was young. And like before I went to camp, God told my mom for all of us not to doubt him, because he's going to heal him from all those issues that he has. And my sister as well. So I go to church, and I'm kind of like in the middle, but I want to be in the front. And like I did as much as I could. And then like the second night, I was like almost like at the front, right? And there was this song, Dancing on the Chains and Taking Your Clothes Off. And you know, like great clothes, great clothes off. Stop. And like I kept doing it for my dad and my sister and all my friends who aren't healed. And third night, I keep praying for all my friends who aren't saved. Like, cause like everybody got like at least one friend that's from India and that stuff, one friend that's from, I believe, Muslim and that stuff. And I keep praying for them. And second night, I meet God in a way, and like he keeps saying in my head, you just keep telling them about me, and I hope them turn into me. Cause I don't want any of them to go where they're supposed to go. Cause I care about all of them.
Come on.
And when if you don't know, I helped Jefferson got Jesus. I'm like making him go to the front and all that stuff. And after that, I went up to Brooks and I'm like, yo, thanks for saving my friend. And he's like, all right, you're welcome. Now it's your turn. And he did that. And I felt the warmth of God. Like, it was just amazing. It's like the best hug I've ever had. Yeah. And then fourth night, after we keep doing that chapel, fourth night until like we left, every time I prayed to him, I could feel him holding my hands. Every time I lift my hands up, I could feel him holding me. I could feel the warmth of him all the time. Yeah, that's all I can say.